Here's the Tokina 11 to 20 millimeter f2.8 APS-C zoom lens, wide-angle zoom lens that I just bought. And there's the thread mount. I believe this is what is this, an 82? I got this lens for my Canon 70D and also for my Canon C100. There it is. Can barely get it in the frame, but there you go. So for the Canon C100 and the Canon 70D uses the same, lens, and the 11 to 20 is fantastic on both of these cameras for stills and video. Originally, well, I still do have the first generation of the Tokina 11 to 16mm f2.8, and I loved this lens. Here it is compared to the 11 to 20. Now it's a little smaller. The 11 to 20 is heftier, but not by much. Just by my hand, it's not. It doesn't weigh that much more, and it's not that much larger. Although you can see this is the 77-82 thread mount, so the lenses are, obviously bigger. But in my hand, and when I mount them, when I mount each of them on my 70D, I don't feel a weight difference or size difference. The benefit of the 11 to 20, there's two big benefits that I see immediately. The first one being, it's a longer reach, so it goes, instead of stopping at 16 like this one, it goes to 20, so you get a little more zoom. But the big difference to me when I am comparing them side by side for video is the sharpness of this 11 to 20. It is noticeably sharper than the 11 to 16. Now, I had a while back purchased the second version of the 11 to 16, so it was 11 to 16 version 2 of Tokina, and I was doing some comparisons in some stills and some video, mostly for video, and I couldn't tell the difference in sharpness and the build quality, and pretty much side-by-side comparison to the second version. I really couldn't tell a huge difference to justify getting rid of the 11 to 16 and replacing it with the version 2. But when I got the 11 to 20, it is, to me, night and day difference in sharpness, particularly in video. So in video mode, what I did was took these lenses, slapped them on my 70D, went outside and shot some test footage. I didn't have a ND filter, so I had to stop down the lens to like 22 or something pretty crazy. So the it's not as sharp as it could be. It's not at, I think the sharpest this lens, the f-stop would be f5.6. I shot them both, same conditions, on the 70D. Not sure if you can tell the difference with that footage, but when I'm looking at the footage, I can tell the difference in sharpness and in overall image quality. So I am definitely keeping the 11 to 20 millimeter zoom. There's just too many advantages over the 11 to 16. So if you're out there and you have a Canon C100 or a 70D or anything that takes advantage of the dual pixel, because with the dual pixel on this one, it's not silent, but it's pretty silent compared to other Sigma lenses that I've used. I think the Tokina is fairly quiet in autofocus. Not as quiet as the STM Canon lenses. Those are the absolute silent, but it's pretty quiet. And the focus is pretty fast, the autofocus, when you're using the dual pixel autofocus sensor. So yeah, I strongly recommend the 11 to 20 millimeter f2.8 if you have an APS-C side sensor or like the Canon EOS cameras. 11 to 20 is where it's at. I think so far this is the best wide angle APS-C lens that I've used.